Big, rich, big, rich, big, rich, big. So where to begin? The bipolar goon in a padded room, consumed by the coming doom. The return of Christ at noon split the world in two. Dude pursued the cool until he ruled in 2077. His life's due. The tomb of the devil erected in my room. He resurrected and reunited with the fools, the Hutus in 94 and Ouagadougou in 2016. I see the clues. The Ku Klux Klan in the form of the neighborhood crew.
Yeah. We back again. Hoping everybody's good. Another Hump Day show, day before Thanksgiving. Hope everybody is doing well. Everybody is spending time with your family, doing what you need to do to make this world a better place. Big Rich here, Big Rich live on the mic. Radio show back here on YouTube, doing it like we do. Bigger and better back in the building. Made it another week. Thank God for all his blessings. And I wish you greetings. And I hope that everything that you wanted, everything that you're thinking about, everything that you need, you get one time or another. Welcome. Like I said, Big Rich here, Big Rich live on the mic radio show back again on YouTube. This is our 30th episode. Can you believe that? 30 episodes. I tell you, for a while there, I wasn't too sure we'd do it, especially when I had took like a month and a half hiatus, trying to retire, go through my retirement party, upgrade some of the systems and stuff like that. Things didn't work out the way it was supposed to. My health wasn't all the best, but you know, Lord will make a way. He always does. He's always right on time. May not come when you want him, but he always right on time. So that's my little spiritual soapbox. You know, we usually don't get into religion and spirits here too tough, but I just like to tell you that we have some pretty good subjects that we'll talk about. 3 subjects, actually. We're trying not to go over an hour this time. We're trying to chop it down a little bit, you know, keep it flowing. But, you know, when we chop it up, going back and forth, sometimes we go long. That's just how it is. You either go big or go home. That type of stuff right there. So, before we start again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Each one teach one. Everybody has been liking and viewing our shows. Is great. I think last show was almost 10,000 views. So that's the last 3 shows that are way up there, and I appreciate it. I'm hoping that means that more and more people are viewing the shows and getting a little bit out of it. You know, whether, like I said, whether you like it or whether you like it or you don't, whether you agree with everything or you don't, at least you're listening, and that is appreciated. That's appreciated by me. So we'll give you our media platforms. You know, the way that we can move and build this particular brand and this show is for us to chop it up across all media platforms. And if you share your share this to your timeline, either be Facebook or Twitter or even Instagram or something like that. You know, it's each one teach one. That's my motto. I stole it from somebody else, and you know, I'm gonna keep using it because it is exactly the way we want to do our business here at the show. So our Twitter, which, like I said, if I'm breathing, I'm on Twitter. I've stayed away from Twitter a little bit here lately because just the trolls and the racism and just silliness, just pure nonsense. So I sort of backed up off it a little bit, but I'm still in there. I still got my ear to the ground and my eye and finger on the pulse of what's going on. But the Twitter is capital B, capital R, live on the mic. Instagram is Big Rich live on the mic, underscore between each word. Our email addresses are docshadowmediagroup at gmail.com or Big Rich live on the mic at gmail.com. Facebook is just simple. Facebook.com/ Big Rich live on the mic. I appreciate a lot of game on there. We've gotten a lot more people who have subscribed to our Facebook page, and that is very much appreciated. And we'll just keep trying to build it from there. I'd like to make an announcement. What we're going to try to do, I can't promise it. What we're going to try to do is we're still doing our Hump Day show and our Saturday show. We're still going to do that from now on. But I've been asked to what I consider doing maybe an update like during the week, maybe once or twice during the week. It'd probably be, between 5 or 10 minutes where something comes out, or I get a request about my views or my expertise, or not my views and expertise is the same thing, but my opinions and stuff like that on a particular cause or incident or something like that. Will I be open to do that? So we're going to try to do that. Now obviously we have Thanksgiving coming up, and then you have everybody rolling out with Black Friday and stuff like that. So I probably will try to do it starting next week. You know what I'm saying? So we're still going to have our Saturday show just like normal. We'll do our Saturday show. And then probably I'll start out like Monday. Maybe let's say, because you got the Saturday show, Sunday, everybody, chills out and stuff like that. Monday I might do like a 5 or a 10 minute, excerpt, small video describing something or discussing something, because a lot of people have asked about, our logos. How do we do our logos? How do we put together the show? What equipment that we use and all that type of stuff. So I might do something like that, discuss how we come up with our logos and our thumbnails and all of that type of stuff right there. So I think that I'm going to try to do that. I can't promise that's going to happen all the time, but there's sometimes when I be chilling or I'm out and about and I'll get a direct message through Instagram or some type of email, and it's like, oh wow, I can talk about that now, but the show is not till Wednesday or the show is not till Saturday. What if I forget it? And my adage has always been that a lot of times it's best that you either put pen to paper or you say what you need to say at that particular time. Now I know sometimes when you pissed off or you in a situation where you want to cuss your boss out or your parents or something like that, that it's best for you to take a step back. Take that step back and be like, let me not say what I need to say because it'd be something that I can't take back. That type of stuff right there. But for me, it's a lot easier for me to go ahead and either put pen to paper or get on the video and say, okay, well, this is what happened today and this is my opinion about it, or this is what I got, via email or direct message, and this is my views on it. So I'm gonna try to start doing that. Let's pencil Monday, and we'll see what happens from there. And if it works and I get views and I get good feedback, then we'll continue it. If not, then I'll go back to the Wednesday and Saturday show. So like I said, it's Hump Day today, Wednesday. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. People should have a lot to be thankful for. I know there are a lot of people, believe it or not, there's a lot of people that do not believe in the premise of Thanksgiving. Not the premise. They actually agree with the premise, but they don't particularly agree with the way it's implemented. You know what I'm saying? As far as the Pilgrims and the Indians and stuff like that. We'll get into that later on. But regardless, you should be thankful. You should find something that you are thankful for every day. So you shouldn't have to wait for quote unquote Thanksgiving to be thankful. But I have a lot of things to be thankful for, and I'm grateful. I know I don't always sound like I'm grateful. I don't always act like I'm grateful, but I am human, and we are full of flaws. But I am extremely grateful, and I have a lot of things to be grateful for. So we're gonna get into our subjects, and you know how we do. We hit it raw. Our first subject is a email that I got. I actually got it about 2.5 weeks ago. This incident happened 3 weeks ago in Rochester, New York, and I get, I'm not like Dr. Boyce, getting 1,000 emails. I probably get about 10, 12 emails a day, but this is not my only gig. So if you add that with my personal emails, with my emails from my company and all that type of stuff right there, I probably get about anywhere between 30, 35 emails. So a lot of times I just don't see it. So I just happened to see this email, and it was about a case that, like I said, happened about 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer now. And it's a young African American autistic male named Chase Coleman. Apparently, just a backstory if you don't really notice, because this was actually covered in detail by the Washington Post a couple of weeks ago when it happened. He's in high school, a nonverbal autistic child. Okay, that means he just don't speak at all. At all. I'm not in the man's business. I don't really know, so I don't know if this was something that manifested itself here now, or it's from childbirth. When you're trying to teach your child how to speak, at two, one, two, and three, that type of stuff, right? They're trying to put words together. I don't know if he was able to do that or not. But the fact of the matter is, right now, he is a nonverbal autistic child. He weighs about 130 pounds, according to the reports, and really shy. Obviously, if you know anything about autism, you understand, or you should understand, how these people are. How that disease affect people. I don't want to use that. You say these people is like other. But you understand what I'm saying without me being disrespectful. Okay, so his mom had wanted him to go out for a lot of sports, and he tried out and couldn't make it, but he actually started running, and he was on a long distance track team, and it was something that he was good with. So what she would do is, a couple of days before the meet, she would actually drive or walk, depending on how big it was and how the weather was, the whole course. And she would put in her mind, she would make mental notes on how he could, or where he might have gotten lost. He might gotten lost. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay, I need to keep my eye on them when excuse me. I need to keep my eye on them when they go past this corner. I need to then hurry up and go down under this bridge because he can go left or right. That type of stuff. I'm paraphrasing, but that's basically what she was doing. So during the meet, just like she thought would have happened, he got lost. She was at the finish line waiting for him. She didn't see him. She got a little worried. She got in her car. She went back, through the course to find him. While she was coming, and this point, she was outside her car. She was calling for her son. Some lady had said, "Are you looking for one of your runners?" She was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Well, he's over there, and that guy, there was an older white guy that just pushed him, just pushed him to the floor and yelled at him." I didn't know what he said. As she gets closer to him, he's upset. Obviously, there was another male who said, "Yeah, I saw it happen. He was running down the street, I could see that he's in some type of marathon. He has his long distance uniform on with a number pinned to it. And this white man, got out, looked like he was double his size and double his age, ran up to him, started yelling at him, and just pushed him to the ground, then turned around, got in his car, and hauled butt." Well, these Good Samaritans was able to get his license plate, and the mom called the police. They was able to run the license plate. They found the guy. Now the guy's name is Martin McDonald. He's a 57-year-old white male from Rochester, New York, and he said, "Yes, I pushed him down, but I pushed him down because I thought that he was going to mug my wife and take her purse." Really? Really? Okay. There's so many layers to this, but let's just dissect the first few layers. Okay. This child is running. You could see, and they say, again, I haven't seen the male, but they say the child is like 14, 15, 16. This man is 57. This man's older than me. The child is 130 pounds. They say this guy is double that. So that means he's at least 260, allegedly. Okay, because like I said, I haven't seen him. Why would you get out your car? See, that's the thing is, see, if the boy was running towards you, said something to you, bumped into you, ran up in your house, in your yard, whatever, I can sort of understand you maybe pushing him out of your yard or, you know, out of your store or whatever it might be. But you got out your car to approach this child. And then he was saying, well, the child wouldn't heed my commands, because the witnesses were saying that when he pushed him and he was yelling at him, once he pushed him, they were able to hear what he said, which was, "Get out of here." Okay, so then Mr. McDonald was saying, well, he wasn't listening to my commands. He wasn't answering me when I was talking to him. Well, he can't speak. He's a non-verbal autistic child. Now, you might say, some people who just don't have any sense, they'll probably say, well, Rich, how did he know that? But again, like I said, okay, how did he know that? But how did he get outside of his car to approach this boy who don't have on a hoodie, don't have baggy pants on, has a marathon uniform? Anybody know what a marathon uniform is? It is a tank top with some type of saying on it, some type of wording on it. It is a pair of shorts, usually boys' shorts, some sneakers or tennis shoes down here in the South, and a freaking number on the front and the back. How can you not ascertain that this person is not trying to mug you? This person is in a race. Or if you be like, okay, well, maybe he was that lost that, let's just say, let's name the streets. Let's say the race is on 5th Avenue. And he got lost, and now he's on 1st Avenue. So 1st Avenue, you really don't know what's going on 5th Avenue. But the fact of the matter that you have a marathon uniform on and you have the number placed on it, you use your common sense to realize, okay, well, this guy might be lost. First, you mind your business. That's the first thing. But if you feel that the person might be lost and might be in some type of problems, then if you get out, you try to talk to the person, and if the person is non-responsive, you call the police and you keep it moving. But that's not even, you notice, I said the races and the colors of both persons, but I didn't even bring up the racial aspect yet, because to me, Stevie Wonder can see that. But I'm just talking about, let's just say they both black or both white. We take that out using your common sense. Why would you do that? That's first and foremost. But what made it more egregious, in my opinion, the mom was like, oh no, I don't believe that at all. My child can't defend himself. My child is, I'm not going to say a functioning illiterate, but my child is a 14 or 15-year-old, probably with the mentality of a 2 or 3-year-old. You follow what I'm saying? So, and plus he can't speak. So what kind of threat was he to you and your wife? He can't speak at all. Okay? So I want to press charges. So, they do up the report. The cops do what they're supposed to do. And I guess in Rochester, and probably I would have did it also when I was a police officer down here in Florida, is what we would have done is we would have filed a case. So we would have filed the case, and it was up to a judge to issue the warrant. You know what I'm saying? Like if somebody says, hey, this particular person, when I was working the street and I get to a call and it was like, look, I had an argument with this person over this person punched me in my face. Okay, are you bleeding or do you have damage? Or this person pushed me. It may not punch me in the face, but let's just say push me. Okay, you don't have any damage, you don't have any injuries and stuff like that. It's still a crime, but I'm not going to make a physical arrest. What I'll do is I'll file the paperwork, and then the DA and the judge will finally determine if charges are warranted, and then they'll issue the warrant, and then we go from there. But this judge, and her name is Carolyn Morrison, she sends a picture back. That's not a picture. She sends a letter to the mother of Chase Coleman saying that she wasn't going to file charges, that Mr. McDonald was not going to face charges. I got a problem with that. And again, this has nothing to do with the race of either person. I have a problem with that. What people fail to realize is that we are in a system of supremacy. We have a justice system that, although the justice system might be blind, the people who administer the justice or who are in charge of the justice aren't. That's the big thing. Everybody sit up there and say, hey, justice is blind. She very well might be. It very well might be. A law is a law. Until if you go back, 50, 60, 70 years and then further back to the inception of this country as we know it, yeah, there was some laws that would say black and white and Native American, red, that type of stuff right there. But I'm talking about I'm generalized speaking. Laws are pretty much laws. It is the people who administer the laws that are the problem. Now, this judge here, Miss Morrison, she just allowed not only this grown man to get away with this, she has either knowingly or unknowingly said it's okay for you to prey on the weak, because as long as you don't hurt them. Now, she has no idea that this child, I'm assuming she has no idea that this child is autistic. She has no idea that this child is nonverbal. And I know she has no idea that this child is traumatized. This child went the next day to turn in his uniform and refuses to run to this day. This child, and you think about it, when you dealing with, and that's the thing what people don't seem to realize. This child has been dealing with autism for his entire life. When you find something, when you find what you think is a safe space, and then somebody's allowed to destroy that, do you know how traumatic that is? Do you know how bad that is, for somebody? So what this, I don't even know, because she's a city, her official title is city court. It's Rochester City Court judge. So I don't know if that's an appointed position or that's a voted position. I have no idea. I have no idea anything about that. But where is your common sense there? I'm not saying this man needs to go to jail. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is he needs to be held responsible and held accountable for what he did. It's ebbs and flows. I said this in the other show when I was saying, when you punish people, you don't stop all people from doing what you punish that people for, but you stop most people from doing that. It's the bell curve theory. 10% will never do it in the first place. 10% will do it no matter how bad the punishment is. But you talking about 80%. 80% of the 80% is like, oh shoot, I don't want to do that. Because if I get caught, these are the consequences, repercussions for my actions. So she just sat there and just allowed this man. So now the next fool that wants to do something to anybody, and again, remember I said, I'm not one time am I sitting around here trying to make this a white and black thing. I've chopped it up back and forth with people on Twitter. I've listened to other people's shows and their takes on this, and it's always the same. Supposing it was reversed. This was a white child and it was a black man who pushed it. If it was a white autistic child and a white man who did it, people would be outraged. I mean, you just think about it. Think about if you know of any autistic children or people, okay? Or you've seen something on TV when they have those infomercials and stuff about, curing autism and dealing with autism and stuff like that. Do you really think that if it was somebody of a different persuasion that the national media would have covered it and it would have went a little bit different? But I'm not going there. I'm just asking. I'm throwing that out. But I'm not going there. What I'm saying is justice is supposed to be there to correct the wrongs. That's what it's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion. I know there's other people who feel totally different. But you are supposed to set an example of, hey, okay, you don't have to do jail time, but I'm going to put you on probation. I'm going to make you get a lawyer. I'm going to arrest you, so you have to turn yourself in, even if it's a walkthrough. He would not do it again. He might not do it again now because of what little publicity this whole thing has gotten. He might not do it again. I don't know. But I'm in this story on some of the reasons that, that Mr. McDonald had given when he was asking, we'll go deeper into when he was asked by the police officer why he did it. So he said that, again, like I said before, that he thought that Chase was going to mug him and steal his wife's purse. So then when they asked him, well, why would you think that? He said, well, not long ago, my car, it was either his car or his house, I think it was his car, was broken into by some youths. And that crossed his mind when he saw Chase running towards him or running down the street. I can't even say that he was running towards him. I put that in there. Let me take that out. That's not in the story that Chase was running towards him. They just said Chase was running in the middle of the street. Well, he was in the middle of the street because he was in a marathon not too long ago and he got lost. But I digress. I was waiting for the other shoe to drop. And the other shoe to drop would have been, okay, somebody broke into my car. Either somebody witnessed it and said that it was blacks, or they were caught and you found out it was blacks. So that shoe never dropped. So Mr. McDonald has no idea who broke into his stuff. White, black, red, green, humpback, have no idea. No idea. So that becomes, and I ain't calling him a racist. I don't even know him. I'm not calling him big. I don't know him. But what I do know is he has implied bias. I do know that. Everybody does have some type of implied bias about everybody. You follow what I'm saying? If you think you don't, then you're the problem. The problem is when you react in a negative way to those implied biases. So I think Mr. McDonald need to get he need to take he need to soul search, and he needs to reevaluate his moral compass, and first of all, apologize, and don't ever do this again. Because let me tell you something, it could have went a whole lot differently. You know what I'm saying? It could have went a whole lot differently. I don't know if this child Chase has his dad in his life. I have no idea. It would have went differently if there was a male involved, like his dad or maybe the mom's boyfriend who's now the stepdad or something like that. People are bold. People are really bold. Really, really bold. So that's my views on that one. My heart goes out to Chase Coleman. Did I say Coleman? Yeah, it is Coleman. Chase and his family. I have no idea what dealing with autism is. I think one of my coworkers when I was with the PD, he has an autistic child, and he taught us, the ins and outs last year during training, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and it's very scary. And plus, you as a parent sometimes blame yourself because you ask yourself, what could you have done? What did I do wrong? Is it a gene that I have that I passed on to this poor child? Is it something that was in prenatal care? Did I do something wrong? Is it me? It's very hard. And that's just the parents, let alone the child, let alone the autistic person who has to grow up like that. So my hearts and prayers goes out to him, and we'll see what we could do in the radio show to donate or get something, get something to him to sort of uplift him and get him to get back into the streets again in the marathon and live his life. Poor fellow. Next thing we're going to talk about is Kanye West. Ooh, Lord. Anybody who don't know what Kanye West is, Kanye West, they say Kanye West is a rapper. I've never taken Kanye West as a rapper. I've always just taken him as an artist. He's not a singer. And I really didn't stud his rapping skills. He was just a tweener. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's kind of hard. But I always thought that he was just weird. Something is wrong with that brother. Well, a couple of days ago, I got this from a couple of cats in Sacramento who watched the show, and they had sent me the link. And actually, it was two links. It was a link that Boogie Cousins, who is the starting center of the Sacramento Kings, had put out on Instagram about Kanye West, and he was at the concert. And then the second one was my man Snoop Dogg, and he was sent the link of what had happened. And the first thing he was like, this fool is crazy. I always thought that Kanye was crazy. Well, anyway, to make a long story short, he was supposed to give a concert in Sacramento. This was over the weekend, I want to say. And he comes out on stage with this crazy rant, a 15 to 17 minute rant, all over the place. I mean, a lot of it was incoherent. I know he was saying something about Beyonce, who's the singer, who's married to Jay-Z, who's the hip-hop artist and CEO, former CEO of Rockaware and Rockefeller Records and Def Jam and all that type of stuff. And it just going back and forth, just wild, incoherent craze. And then he do 3 songs. Now, I don't know how many songs Kanye has. I mean, there's a couple of songs that I've listened to. I'm not going to throw no shade on him and say that he a scrub or a hack. But I'm just not really into, Kanye West that way. But I know he got more than 3 songs. And if you paying that type of bread, for a concert, you expect an hour, hour and 15, hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes. He does a 15 to 17 minute rant of some incoherent, crazy crap. Then does 3 songs, drop the mic and haul ass. People looking like, really? I just gave, especially them people up front, they gave hundreds of dollars. And I'm sorry, it's hard out here in these streets. $100 don't mean much to me until you don't need it. I'm sorry, until you need it. My bad. Until you need it. Until they about to turn your lights off or you forgot a bill, which I always do. So I always need my bread. Always. I got a partner of mine during my retirement ceremony. He was like, I used to always tell Rich, hey, I know you want your bread, and I'm going to get you your bread as soon as I get it. But I guarantee whenever it comes, you're going to need it. You follow what I'm saying? So if it comes today, if it comes tomorrow, if it comes next week, next month, next year, you're going to need it whenever it comes. So that's on a little tangent off to a sidebar. But the fact of the matter is, what the hell wrong with Kanye? Then we find out today that he possibly suffered some type of emotional breakdown or nervous breakdown, and now he's under doctor's care or he's committed. I have no idea. Kanye West is crazy. And see, the thing is, his type of craziness, to me, is dangerous. You follow what I'm saying? Like, when I was on the PD, you always knew, not always, I can't, I need to stop talking in concrete terms. I need to start talking in general terms because you don't always nothing. You don't always like this. You don't always dislike that, this, that, and the third, right? So when I was with the PD and I would roll up and I would get called on people who somebody called in and said they might be mentally disturbed or something like that, right? I would always know. See, I said always again, see? Most of the time, the majority of the time, I would know if somebody was bullshitting, excuse my French, was playing around, or they was really crazy. And them ones that was really crazy, those are ones that I always had a certain positive fear. And you say, well, how can fear be positive? Well, if you use fear in a positive way, it heightens your senses and it keeps you on your toes. When you succumb to your fears, that's what's bad. That's when you do cowardly stuff. You know, you do stuff to hurt people before you feel that they're going to hurt you. That type of stuff right there. So it would be a healthy fear, and I would be real leery of them. I keep my distance. You know, I would talk to them, but I would always be watching them. I would never turn my back. I would never cross eyes. I would look at this particular person. And I would always make sure that somebody else was there just in case they jump bad. Not that they wanted to. They just crazy. I would have backup to back me up in whatever I needed to do at that particular moment. So Kanye West to me is that type of crazy. You know, like legitimately, like he got some real emotional issues. Now I was on the phone talking to my lady, and I had asked her. I was like, "Well, when do you think that he's crazy?" She was like, "Yeah, he crazy." And I was like, "Well, I heard a lot of people are saying that he got crazy after his mom passed. God rest her soul. You know, she goes in for the plastic surgery. You know, some type of tummy tuck. I want to say it was like lipo and tummy tuck, something like that. And she wound up dying. And a lot of people are saying that that's when he went nuts. I think Kanye West was nuts from the get-go, from the giddy up. He was just off. You know, something about him was just a little off. And now he just out there. You know, and then you in that Kardashian bubble, you know, where every moment of every day you're being hounded. That's the thing here. You know, a lot of people, I speak to a lot of people. And they always say, "Oh, I wish I was famous. Oh, I wish I had all this type of money." Now, I'm with you when you say you want this type of, you know, millions and millions of dollars. Who the heck don't? You know, I know people will sit there and say, "Well, you know, I'm a spiritual man. I don't need that type of money." Whatever. Whatever. The fact of the matter is, everybody need money. But if I had to get, okay, in order for me to get $50 million, I have to have the paparazzi following me every place I go. I don't want it. I just don't. Now, I know a lot of people say, "Well, Rich, you say that because you don't have it." Well, no, I say that because that's who I am. I've lived 48 years. You know, I've been all over the world. I live very comfortably. Do I live Kardashian comfortable? No. Do I live, do I live Oprah Winfrey, Donald Trump, Bill Gates comfortably? Tyler Perry comfortably? Hell no. But I live comfortably. I wouldn't want that. I just wouldn't want that. So, you know, again, you know, prayers out for Kanye to get him some help. But sometimes you just feel that when you're at a position in your life, when, you know, when you surrounded by yes men and all of that type of stuff right there, and you really not looking for your wife, because that's the thing is when you with somebody, and this is not to throw shade on Kim Kardashian. I'm not trying to shit on her at all. But when you hook up with somebody, that need to be your rib. That needs to be your shoulder. So what I'm saying is, if I'm hurt, okay, physically or mentally, spiritually or economically, I need my mate to sort of help me out. Okay? I don't know if Kanye West got that, you know, in that Kardashian crowd. I don't know if he got that. I can't even say yay or nay. I would think not. I mean, because they all don't seem like rocket scientists to me. But you know, I digress. It is what it is. So that's my take on Kanye. I hope it was all just a publicity stunt. But if it was a publicity stunt, bruh, you need to check yourself, because after a while, people ain't gonna try to drop that bread to hear you. I do not. I'm one. People ask me all the time, do I go? I am not one to go to concert. The last concert that I paid for to go was in 1987, 87 to 88. It was the the Def Jam. It was a Jeff Jam. They had Eric B. and Rakim. They had LL Cool J. They had Run DMC. All this type of stuff. Houdini opened up for it. I mean, 1987, 88. Dude, that was like 21, 22, you know, years old, 23 years old, something like that. Now I've been to many, if you will, as a bodyguard, because one of my clients wanted to go and they was taking their family and stuff, and I dreaded every moment of it. To me, if I want to hear music, that's what I got a CD player for. Or back in the day when I had a reel to reel, sit in my man cave and listen. That's my thing. And I went off on a tangent, but I did that with a purpose, to say that you wasn't never getting my money, but you keep doing stuff like that to other people, you're not gonna get their bread neither. And then you're gonna be ass out, believe me, brother. Because my brother Smiles, shout out to my little brother. He used to be in the rap game, and he was saying the money, the real money, other than endorsements and branching out to TV and movie, is your concert money. So that's what you always wanted to do. You always wanted to headline your concerts because that's your money. There are people like Beyonce and people of her ilk, Jay-Z and stuff. They probably get $150,000-$200,000 a show. So that's why they do a 50-city tour. You look at the parts of the Kings of Comedy. It's DL. It's DL Hughley. It's Cedric Entertainer. It's Charlie Murphy. It's George Lopez, and it's one other person. They've been nonstop going all over the country, over and over and over and over. That's where you make your bread. That's where you make your money. That's where you make your money. So, obviously you don't care about your bread, or you think that you Teflon. But I'm here to tell you, bro, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You keep doing that craziness. Our last subject we're going to talk about is kind of what I call the heightened of hypocrisy. Somebody sent this to me, and I don't have the name, so if you listen, put it at the bottom of the in the comment section at the bottom of the video, to let me know that you were the one who sent it to me, because I just found out about it yesterday, I want to say. And it was a beef, if you will, between Sage Steele, who is according to her, a proud mixed race woman of color, who's actually an ESPN analyst, okay, and Mike Evans. And it wasn't even a beef between them, but it ballooned or mushroomed into a beef with everything coming back on Sage Steele. But we'll digress. Apparently, a couple of weeks ago, Mike Evans, who don't know, Mike Evans is a wide receiver, starting wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Apparently, he was sitting during the anthem, and I guess it was one of those veteran appreciation, excuse me, the veteran appreciation games, and he was sitting. I don't know all the particulars or whatever, but I guess when he found out about it, he felt bad. He issued an apology. He said, hey, I screwed up. It'll never happen again, this, that, and the third. Now, I have something totally different to say about that. I have my thoughts about that, and I won't get into that right now, but I think that was a mistake. But it is what it is. He did that. Okay. Anybody who apologized, whether you need to or not, to make people feel better, really, or even to make you feel better, I can't throw shade on you. You know what I'm saying? I can't throw shade on you. But he apologized, and he said it wouldn't happen again. Well, Sage Steele on her Twitter account, no, I'm sorry, I'm lying. Her Facebook account, she puts a picture of a older white man who was kneeling at a cemetery. It seems like it was like a veteran cemetery, okay? And it had, flags, U.S. flags and stuff draped over the headstones. And she puts, and I'm paraphrasing again because I don't have her quote on me. She put, well, Mike, she said, Mike, next time you sit during the anthem, remember this. Now, it's funny. We addressed this before when we was talking about Colin Kaepernick and him kneeling for the anthem. And I said then, and I'll say it again, that I'm proud of him. Everybody that anthem does not mean the same to everybody. And this is a free country. If we can deal with the Klan and the neo-Nazis, and the rest of these people, these ilk, who are out to do other people harm, then anybody who wants to sit during the anthem should be able to do so without you taking offense to it because it's their right. That's first and foremost. I get that. I get that out. I'll put that out. But as somebody who is a veteran, served during wartime, forget the 23 years in law enforcement. I'm talking about I am a veteran. And I've said this when I went over this show. I'll say it again. Should have something happen where somebody was trying to evade the United States, if I could physically, I'd go and fight. Not a problem. You follow what I'm saying? Not a problem. That's just me. I'm that type of dude. But it is amazing to me how many people who've never, forget your daddy did it, your mama did it, whatever, who have never served a country and never considered serving a country, and if asked, would never come up to fight for their country, has the nerve to tell other people how to be patriotic. Really? Really? And I'm not saying, again, I'm not sitting up there saying that just because you didn't fight for your country, just because you didn't serve in the military, that you have no opinion. No, everybody has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. But why should your opinion be more important than anybody else's? You never fought. You never spilt blood. Yeah, and I don't even know if her daddy did. But she says that now she get a whole bunch of backlash. A lot of backlash, people calling her a traitor, calling her a coon, all that type of stuff, sell out and all that. And I think a lot of people were sitting up there saying, because she kept saying that she was, what was it? Let me get it right. Mixed race. People come up with all this old crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? I mean, mixed race. Really and truly, if you talk to scholars, scholars that got some sense, there's only one race. That's the human race. And then there's subgroups of each race. So you have Caucasians, which you throw, white people. You throw the Africans. You throw the Europeans. All of them. Those are considered Caucasians. Are considered white people. Then you have black people, where you have Africans and African Americans and Jamaicans and stuff like that. Trinidad Tobagans, that type of stuff. Then you have Hispanic, who is not a race at all. The word Hispanic is not a race. What you just do is you put, or people are putting Cubans and Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, and Mexicans all in the same group and calling them Hispanic. Okay? So this mixed race thing, that's just like this transgender type thing. I don't even want to go into that. Teach, that's you. If you was born a man, want to be a woman, you was born a woman, want to be a man, hey, that's on you. Okay? But now you have a designation. So anyway, she say, I'm a proud mixed race, whatever the hell that means. Okay? Because let me tell you something. The only one who thinks that you're mixed is your parents, maybe, you, and other people who think they're mixed race. Everybody else, if you're really, really light and have Caucasian or European features, they say you white. And if you're what we call yellow or red bone and then down to darker skin, then you are designated black. But you got the Raven Simones and now Sage Steels and all this want to be mixed race. It is what it is. So I think that's where some of the vitriol came. So anyway, So they called all that out. So she comes back, and trying to double down, basically saying, I don't understand why we have to tear each other down as people of color. Is racism out there? Sure. I've tasted racism on both ends. Now I'll break that down. Let's handle the latter when she says she's faced racism on both ends. I'm not light skinned. You can see me. I'm not light skinned. But my lady's light skinned. A lot of the women that I've ever dated were light skinned, or Hispanic or Caucasian. Okay. But let's just talk about the light skinned women. And they would tell me stories about how they were ostracized, sometimes beat up, sat upon by other black girls and guys because of their skin complexion and because they were considered having good hair, good eyes, and they were pretty. But I blame that on the way this society is. This society, the United States of America, has been built on light is right, dark is bad. So if you're a light-skinned African American, no, you still wasn't going to get things that a Caucasian or a white person would get, but you would get more than somebody of darker skin. So I understand that portion. But let's go back to her first point when she says, well, I don't know why we need to try to destroy and take down each other of people of color. But wasn't that what you was doing when you posted that bullshit about Mike? What's his name? Mike Evans? Really? I mean, you know what I'm saying? You put him on blast. Again, Sage Steele is somebody who people know. So I don't know how many followers she's. I don't follow her, on Facebook or anything like that. But I would assume that she had more than 1,000 people who follow her on Facebook because she's a personality. She probably got close to, I don't know, 200, 300,000, whatever. Plus people see her on ESPN, so people know of her. So you didn't put this man on blast on some bullcrap that you have no idea what the hell is about. Because the fact of the matter is, what somebody does, whether they sit, stand, put their hand over there, you have no idea. You have people who stand up for the national anthem, sing it word for word, put their hand over their chest, talk about how patriotic they are, but they grand wizards of the Ku Klux Klan. You know what I'm saying? They are card-carrying members of neo-Nazis. So just because you stand up for the anthem don't necessarily mean that you're just patriotic or that you're a good person. And just because you sit down or kneel or fist pump or whatever means that you are a bad person. So I just think that she was just totally wrong and she deserved the vitriol she got. It is what it is. I always say this. People who forget who they are, excuse me, people who forget who they are, where they came from, and how they are perceived are the most dangerous people. I've said this on this show on many of times. I can only think of twice, maybe 3 times I've been called the N-word to my face, and it's always been drunk people that I was arresting, taking to jail. I would laugh on the way there. I would put their behind in the drunk tank. I would go home. They would go to jail. I was cool. But I'm the N-word. Okay, it is what it is. And then that time when we had to guard the Klan. And again, they used the word, but they wasn't in my face saying it. You feel what I'm saying? But I also understand the dynamics. I understand that to this day, I might get looked at crazy or watched when I go into Best Buy or Walmart or anything like that. And it's based totally on the color of my skin because I used to be the police. You know what I'm saying? I know how to interact. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I know what to do and not to do to bring attention to myself. Sometimes it's just this that brings attention to yourself. So you understand that. So even though it wasn't in my face, I can't forget that it's out there. And when somebody else says that they have dealt with it or is dealing with it, I have to understand that, accept that, and help them deal with it. So when you are in a situation where you just sort of forget you got a little position, you got a little husband, you got some kids, y'all, your paper probably meeting, your ends is meeting, you know, you done stacked your paper, all that type of stuff. Now you want to forget. Now you want to say, okay, well, oh, no, 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 no. I know I might look black, but I'm not black. I'm mixed race because my mom look. Okay, okay, all right. You know, if that's what makes you, if that's what makes you feel better, that makes you sleep good at night, then it is what it is. I mean, everybody know what the deal is. Again, they gonna sit around and say, "Hey, that's Sage Steele. Hey, that's Raven Simone. Oh, she's mixed race. Get the heck out of here. Really? It is what it is. Whatever." So I don't know what else to tell you on that. I mean, I'm not surprised. I just shake my head because it's just prevalent out there, and you won't ever make any leeway, as a people, you know, until you come together, and realize who the bad guy is, who's the enemy, who is out there trying to do you harm, do you and your people harm. Who is that? That's who we need to unite and we need to deal with. Now we're gonna have our internal strifes and struggles. That's what we're gonna do. That's just how it is. This is how life is. When you put more than one human being together, there's gonna be some strife every now and again. The goal is to mitigate that strife, and when the strife do rear its ugly head, you do something to deal with it. You do something to cut it off at the knees before it erupts into a full-blown disagreement, a full-blown argument. And that's what I try to do in my life. But those are the three stories and stuff. You remember we started this three shows ago, actually, and we start doing the word of the day. We end in a positive note. That's what we try to do. Plus, I give you some homework. You guys have been doing real good on the homework, chopping it back, with the words of the day. Y'all have given me a bunch of words of the day. But today's word of the day, is sustainability. Sustainability is something that you should use in your life. You should always keep in your mind the question, what I'm doing, is what I'm doing sustainable? If I'm drinking every day, all day, is that sustainable for a good life? Odds are, maybe no. If I'm smoking every day, smoking weed, smoking cigarettes every day, is that sustainable? If I'm spending money every day, is that sustainable? If I'm investing, if I'm building, if I'm learning, oh, that's sustainable. So sustainability, think in your life what you are doing in your day-to-day function. I don't care if it's you use flashcards, to remind you of something, to brush you up on something, whether it be the stock market, whether it be trading, whether it be collecting, whatever it is. Just when you sitting around not doing anything, when there's a commercial on, because I watch a lot of sports, there's a commercial on, you go to your flashcards, and you study and you continue things that sustain the life that you want to live. And remember, even if you're single, no kids, no cats, no dogs, your life, odds are your life is not totally yours. It's not just you. You follow what I'm saying? You have maybe employees, you have maybe coworkers, you have, clients, something. Unless you live in a cave by your dang on self, you're not living your life by yourself. So we're going to use the word sustainable, or actually sustainability. That's our word of the day. That'll be the show here. That's Hump Day Show. Again, happy Thanksgiving. Hope all your dreams and your goals get accomplished and your worries are left by the wayside. I will see you Saturday. Lord have mercy. I will see you Saturday. And that's it. Stay safe. Stay informed. Be blessed. We out.